Well, it's nearing the middle of August here in southwest Wisconsin, and we're out here doing a little trail camera work.
Yeah, we're a little behind schedule.
A little bit.
But this is one of the properties that you seen me take a doe on last year. We're kind of excited about it this year.
Yeah.
It's really changed from last year.
Definitely. Just the way he's kind of mowed this and he's got this set up for his alfalfa, it worked great for us.
Right.
Hoping it's going to work.
Well, we'll see how it goes. And then, of course, the neighbor helped us out by putting corn up top.
Absolutely.
So. This week on the Whitetail Obsession, it's the first week. We're going to go through some of our trail camera stuff, some of our how we tune our bows or some equipment tuning.
Yep, food plots, mowing alfalfa, mowing clover.
Stuff like that. Basically, we're going to start out with Aaron Hottman. He's going to be showing us how he sets some of his trail cams and where he puts them and why he puts them in them locations.
Yeah, and it seems like every year he does a pretty good job. He gets a nice buck or he gets pictures of a nice buck.
Oh yeah, he's already got quite a few. We might show you guys a few on the show here, as long as he okays it, you know how that goes.
Yep.
But we're going to jump from that to some food plot stuff, some late season stuff with you.
Yeah, I did a fall food plot, and I've just been trying to work on different foods to have for late season at my place and just give them different options. And I did a little bit of how I mow my clover too.
Yeah, you do it a little bit different than everybody else, so it's kind of a neat tip if you guys use a deck that's behind a tractor or something like that. And then, of course, I'm going to go through spine tuning, basically. We're going to do a little bit of spine tuning, show how we do that.
It's just kind of micro-tuning your arrows, getting the most out of your setup. So. Yeah,
and then the very last part, I'm going to actually show you a food plot that we started real early this year.
Yep.
We call it the Oasis, a spot near my place. There used to be an old apple orchard there about 20 years ago, and I always knew it was in there, but it grew up with honeysuckle.
Yeah.
And finally, this year we just took the initiative, went in and started cutting the honeysuckle out. And
yeah, you and Cody did quite a bit of work up there.
Yeah, we'll see if it pans out, but it's a nice looking clover plot with a little water hole in it, so you guys be sure to check out the show. We'll see you at the bit.
Thanks for watching.
This is Aaron Hottman with Rush Outdoors, and we're going to talk a little bit today about trail camera placement. Pretty critical in where you put your trail cameras, because if you don't put them in the right spots, obviously you're not going to get any pictures. So right here we have a natural funnel in between a hay field and an oat field, in between big woods on both sides. This property's about 130 acres, but it butts up against probably another 200 acres of solid woods with bedding area, pine trees galore down in the bottoms. And this is the up high spot where we're up on a hill here, and in this corner is a driveway where the farmers use to go down to the bottom, field. There's really no other way to get down there, so it's a natural funnel. Obviously deer can walk through wherever they want to in the field, but 9 times out of 10 deer are going to take the easiest route possible, and this is the easiest route possible. If they come out behind me, they're going to walk down this fence row right here, and they're going to walk down this trail. I have a tree stand set up right here to my left of me that I just put up to catch them coming out of here, so I get a 20-30 yard shot. So stay tuned, and we're going to show you a little bit where the trail cameras are placed, how to set them, where to set them, and how to get a good view. Okay, so this is one of the spots where I told you there was a funnel coming down to the bottom driveway. It's a driveway going down to the bottom of the field. Right here I cleared a path on this tree right here. Always try to get all the branches and all the leaves that can set off your camera out of there. I usually like to set them high so that if they're infrared, the deer can still kind of see them. But sometimes you just can't, so I set them off to the side so that when a deer is walking down the path this way, it's not in its line of sight so that it can't see it. So right now we're going to set this one up here. Some cameras have an aiming feature, some don't. This one will detect when something walks by. I usually try to set it, chest level, a little lower, because obviously a deer only stands about this tall, so otherwise you'll shoot over them. You also got to look for the elevation in the land to make sure you're not going to shoot over its head, because in front of us where they're going to be walking is going to be lower. So we obviously don't want to shoot at just their head, we want to get a picture of the whole deer. I always try to picture myself beside the camera to where it's going to aim the most coverage possible, because sometimes they're faster than what they say, and sometimes it takes them a couple seconds to warm up and get an actual picture. So I'm going to put it on aim. I usually try to walk down the trail that the deer are going to walk down. See if it's aimed right. Right now it looks pretty good. And you can use a red dot as an aiming point. Follow it out and take a picture right in front of us here. So this is the funnel I was talking to you about, where the woods go back. It's oats up high on the hill. Actually, I got a tree stand right there, and I put the camera up right behind me. So if you can see, here's the driveway with a funnel that goes right down to the bottom field. So this will be a good ambush spot and a pinch point for deer. Whether they're does are getting chased by bucks or just bucks coming out trying to travel to the easiest point. Stay tuned. So we're down here in the bottom field, and right here in the corner, this is a pinch point in a valley. There's a trail to the left of me, there's another trail down there, and then there's a bedding area with pine trees to the left of me over here too, with an open field. The deer come through here out of the bedding area, that's solid woods almost over there. And they come down the ravine here and come out this corner right here. And as you can see, when I show you in a minute, this oats, you can see the bedding swirls inside these oats where they've been laying here almost every night. So what I did is I cleaned this area out because it was all overgrown. I put a camera here on the tree right here. And it has lights out so they can't see it. I already got a few pictures on here, turkeys, deer, and a couple other things, but I put the tree stand up right there. So when they're coming out of this corner right here, I'm up higher so I'll keep my scent up too. The deer will come within 20 yards of me and I'll be able to smack them. So this concludes our trail camera placement informative part of the video. If you follow pretty much the simple rules and look for pretty good trails and always aim your cameras out of the sunlight and towards the majority of the trail, you'll get more pictures of deer and better quality pictures of deer, and that'll help you in your scouting significantly. So hunt hard, hunt safe. This is Aaron from Rush Outdoors, and don't forget to watch our show, The Whitetail Obsession, on the Hunt channel at 9:30 a.m. on Tuesdays on channel 266. You can also watch it on the Hunt channel internet site, huntchannel.com. Thanks.
Well, I got this clover here behind me that it's starting to get pretty weedy, so I'm going to come in here. I'm going to use the brush hog. I'm going to set it so it doesn't go too terribly low so we don't mold the clover right off, but I'm going to take care of these weeds. And then back behind me even further, I got another clover plot that I've had planted for probably 4 or 5 years now. It's starting to flower out a lot. we're going to turn that one over. We're going to take care of it. That's going to be kind of a couple part deal. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. And we're going to put some turnips and winter rye in there. And this place that I'm hunting here, the deer always show up here late, and that's about the only time I can get actually daylight pictures or daylight movement of them. So it's pretty, it's right next to my house, right next to my driveway, so there's a lot of traffic in and out of here, so the deer movement's pretty tough. But we're going to give it a shot, get everything turned up, load up, and go from there. Tip for anybody that's out there mowing, using a brush hog on a tractor to do this. If the spot you're mowing is actually safe and you know you're not gonna, I guess, run into anything, I like to go backwards when I do this. That way, when you go backwards, you're actually cutting the grass, the hay, before the tires are matting it down. Otherwise, over the years, I found that when I go forward, a lot of the times it'll be like a couple, 2-3 days later, and there's spots that I missed, or there's spots that grow back a lot faster. So it's just something I found over the years that works for me. Maybe it won't work for you, but give it a shot. Well, we got in here, we got the tiller all hooked up. It took me just a little bit by myself, and we're going to turn this piece of dirt over behind me here. It's still probably going to be a 2-part process. I'm going to do it this first time, and a couple days later I'm going to do it again to make sure I kill all the weeds and existing clover and just kind of mix it all in. And then we got some rain rolling in a day or two after that, so I'll get everything, all the seed down and plant it, and we'll hope for the best. Well, as you can see, I've got this dirt worked up pretty darn good. I've done it 2 or 3 times now, and now I'm going to come in here, I'm going to drag over the top of it, get it smoothed out a little bit, and then I got 3 different kinds of seeds I'm going to put in here. I'm going to break it into 2 sections. I'm going to do winter peas in this section closest right here to me, and then I'm going to do turnips and oats over there in the other one. So we're going to give it a try. This particular spot, like I said earlier, is the deer come here a lot in the winter, so I'm trying to give them different options for food in the winter, give them something that hopefully I'll find that they like more than others, and then I'll stick with that throughout the years. So, but I'm going to get the drag down and get things going here. So I drug over the one portion that I want to put the turnips and the oats in. The reason I do that is the turnips are a little bit smaller seed, so we don't want them getting too deep. So we kind of firm that soil up. And usually I drag back over the top of them, but we're supposed to get some rain tonight and potential good rain, so that should drive these seeds in. The fluffier dirt here, I'm going to put the winter peas, and then I might drive back over the top of it just with the tractor tires to try and make good seed to soil contact, and we're just going to leave it after that. Even if it doesn't rain, I'm right down here by this creek, so every night, every morning I get a good heavy dew, so they should germinate, and I'm sure I'll have some good growth in here.
Hey everybody, Karl Bethke from Rush Outdoors. We're going to do a little arrow tuning today. I actually have my DEFCON M7. This is my hunting setup. That's what I'm going to be hunting with this year. We're going to be testing an arrow. What I'm going to do with this is, we have the spine and everything set up from the Black Eagle spine chart. And what we're going to do is, the bow set at 62 pounds right now. We're going to shoot the bow, group tune it at 50 yards. So I'm going to shoot a group at 50 and see what the group looks like. Then we're going to come back, I'm going to pull 2 pounds out of it. We're going to shoot another group. and then I'm going to come back, go back to where I was, and then go 2 pounds ahead of that. So I'll be up at 64 pounds at that point. And I'm going to shoot another group. And what's going to happen is we're expecting the group of arrows to either tighten up or loosen up based off of the poundage of the bow. It's something that you see a lot of pros do. We're going to try it this time for the first time and see if it actually works for our equipment. So let's go see what we can do. For my hunting arrow, I always overspine my hunting arrow. According to the chart, I should be shooting a 400, but I always shoot a fixed blade broadhead for hunting, so I'm going to actually use a 350 spine, less arrow oscillation, more controllability with a fixed blade broadhead. So what we're going to do is group tune the bow. It'll be the second or third time I've shot these arrows through this bow. I'm going to try and aim in the center, we'll see what we're doing, but basically impact point, we're looking for a group, not the impact point itself, so we'll see what happens. Let's go see what we did. Ready? Okay, so this is a 50-yard shot. Not too bad. This could have been me, but you can see we got a group of probably about 3 inches. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to change the poundage. I'm going to go down to 60 pounds from 62. And our impact point may change, but we're going to see if we can tighten that group up, basically adjusting the bow to the spine of the shaft. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so we turned the poundage down what we think is about 2 pounds. We're going to test it here quick. It should be right around 60. Then we're going to go out and shoot again. Then we're going to turn it back to where it was. We're going to turn it up another 2 pounds. So we'll be shooting 2 more groups, and we'll see which one is the most consistent. And that's where we'll set it for our hunting arrow. Right about 60, so that's 2 pounds lighter than we were at before. Let's go see what we can do. Alright, same bow, same arrow, 2 pounds less. So we're going to be using 60 pounds with this carnivore gun. 50 yards. See how we did. Okay, here's what I'm going to say about this. As of right now, I would say that I've got one arrow that's a little bit different. Just based off of the same grouping. We had 2 last time that were close together and 1 flyer. Same on this one, 2 close together and 1 flyer. Could be the way I fletched an arrow or something like that. Could be the knock. We'll give it a little twist and see what happens. But we're going to change the poundage next. We're going to go up to 64. So we're looking at about 64 pounds now. So we're going to go out and shoot 1 more group and see if our arrows fly a little more consistent or group better. I would say when we loosened it up a little bit, went from 62 to 60, the 2 that grouped together were grouped together closer, so that's something we might want to remember. We'll see what happens when we go up to 60. Alright, so it's raining out, but we're going to finish this up. We're going to shoot our last group, both at 64, using the same arrow. See what happens. that might have just got expensive. Okay, so this is what we would kind of expect regardless. We're shooting a 350 spine arrow. So we were way over spined at 60 pounds. And even at 62 we were over spined quite a bit. We're still a little over spined with the arrow length. At the poundage we're shooting 64 pounds. But you can see how the group started to come in. So basically the weight of the bow and the spine of the arrow is really important for arrow flight, and this proves it. And this is how you group tune a bow. So we're going to hunt with 64 pounds. Well, it's actually the first week of turkey season here in southern Wisconsin. We've been putting down bird after bird. Welcome to the Whitetail Obsession. You've seen Cody and I, what, 2 or 3 weeks ago probably, open this little food plot up you see in here. If you look back behind us, you can see there's a couple apple trees. We had trimmed those up. One of them was pretty bad, but the one good sprout that's still running, we left him. We'll see how that goes, but the other two we're pretty sure are going to produce apples this year. So what we're going to do now is disc this up. You can see we left some stumps and things in here. Part of that is for yardage reasons, so we can know what stumps at what yardage, just help for your quick accusation of targets. But we're expecting to get quite a few deer in here. We're going to put a water hole in also. Pretty much put clover in here then. Yeah. Clover seems to be real productive in this area. We have beans and corn all around us, so you kind of want to give your deer a smorgasbord, I guess I would say.
Yeah, and the other plot we got a couple 100 yards away, maybe. We got clover in that too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and that was real productive last year. That's actually where I shot my turkey already. Hopefully Cody will be able to get this next week, be able to get one down, whether we're over here or one of our other properties. But we're going to disc this up, show you guys what we're doing here, talk about what product we're going to put into it. So enjoy the show, enjoy the Whitetail Obsession.
Karl's tilling up the new food plot off to my right here, so sorry if it's a little noisy, but I'm gonna go ahead, and this is our old stand spot. I'm gonna go up there and pull out the climber and then tear down the ladder. It's about, I don't know, 20-30 yards away from our food plot right now, at the very edge of it, so we want it to be closer because otherwise we're gonna be shooting 60 yards to the other side of the food plot, which we wouldn't shoot that anyways, but we want to move it up closer, so our area of shooting or distance of shooting is probably 20-30 yards. So I'm going to climb up here. We got 2 trees that we're trying to decide between what we want to put it in, so I'll get up here, tear this down, and then we're going to move them up and we'll show you the finished product after. Alright guys, this tree seems a little more centered, so I haven't talked to Karl yet, but
I'm gonna throw it up in this tree, just the ladder. We'll see what Karl thinks. If he wants to move it, we can, but there's actually 2 trees that are putting in the tree behind it. So we'll have a lot of break up in front of us, and we'll be able to shoot to the left or the right side of the other trees. So that's why I like it more. The other trees a little bit out in the open, but it's also a little bit further back in the woods. So I'd rather be a little closer for an easier shot and have a little more break up too. So I see it as plus, so we'll do that. What we're doing is we're just cutting a bunch of crap out of the way so we can put the ladder stand up this way, so we'll be able to shoot to our left and our right like we explained earlier. And then this tree actually has a slight lean to it, which is basically nature's gift to a cameraman, because the hang-on stand will actually have a slight lean to it, so we get to relax then in the tree, which is nice. So we'll get this taken care of.
So it's a pretty nice looking little food plot we got. Just had to thank the nephew for helping me do it. So hopefully we'll be able to kill a few deer out of here. We'll see how it goes. Gonna get the seed in tonight or tomorrow. And we got rain coming Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Nothing heavy, nice and light. Just pound it into the ground, and with the sun it'll take right off. So killing zone. Stick around.
Welcome to the Oasis.
Yep.
Alright guys, well, we've got the finished product here. Actually turned out real nice. Karl got done disking up the food plot, and it should work out really nice. We're calling this plot the Oasis. We're gonna have a little water hole back in here for him and a bunch of food, so should be a place for the does to come and try to hide or feed at least, and hopefully we'll get some big bucks cruising through here this fall. So should be an interesting season. Karl did a good job. I think I did a pretty good job, so stick with us and we'll see what happens this year.
Well, that's going to wrap up this week's episode of the Whitetail Obsession. We hope you guys enjoyed it and got some tips out of there, something maybe you can use.
In the next couple of weeks, we're going to probably show you guys some stuff, just a little more informational stuff for the next week, and then of course we'll be hunting.
Yeah, can't wait for that.
Yeah, everybody's looking forward to the hunt this year, so you guys stay tuned for the Whitetail Obsession. We appreciate you watching.